The body of this cabinet will be relatively simple. It's just a box that is connected in the corners with dovetails, and the back is halfway the cabinet, and I want to add some decorations to it. For that reason, it's good to make this three-dimensional drawing. So I make this cabinet in 3D model, which is not much work. It takes about an hour, and within an hour I have this drawing. It's also less likely to make mistakes because I already made the whole cabinet in digital format. Another very practical possibility of this method of working is that I can easily find measurements and register them. I still have to add one more measurement. I will add it to the drawing. Here it is. And with this drawing I can go to my workshop and just cut it out. The chance I make mistakes is much smaller than when I have to figure out all the measurements. In the blue back of the cabinet I want transparent decoration. For that I took up my sketchbook and made a few possibilities based on the 3D modeling drawing I made based on those main dimensions. And this is where I came up with. What you see here is the bitmap representation of the sketch I made. What I'm going to do here is tracing the bitmap. I will zoom in to one of the details, and I will start the tracing process. For this example, it doesn't matter where I start. I will do it as quick as I can. I try to use as less points as possible, because the more points you use, the more we have to work on it later. And to show you what that means, if you look at the amount of points here, most probably I can get rid of some of them. For example, this one, I delete it. I can probably delete this one and change the forms. The less points I have, the smoother the whole thing will become. I'm going to delete this one too. And it's very important to make it as smooth as possible because it will look better. And I have to be sure that my tool is able to go through narrow pieces like this. The diameter of the tool can't be wider than the width between these two lines. If it's too small, I have to change the form a little bit. This here I don't like. So altogether in this stage I keep on designing. It's not just tracing, it's a combination of stupid tracing work and design. Another thing I'm looking at in this stage is how the curves relate to each other. So when I trace this curve here, I look at how the space in between those forms relate to the form of these two forms, and that through the whole thing. So the design process is just continuing here. The painstaking work of tracing and smoothing is done, and I will show you the detail I worked on earlier. This is the result, and as you can see, the relationship between those two forms and the lines are more detailed and more worked out. I can show you how you can play with that. If I change this form into the other one, I get a whole different feel to it. Maybe this is even better, but I also have to think about the constructural consequences of these choices. I mean, this form here, there will be material that stays, and if I make that too thin, the sheet I will cut it out might break.
Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you, Marco. This also